Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Tom Prendergast, Chairman and CEO of the Metropolitan Transportation Authority. Thank you for coming today for this very exciting event. These great new buses, great new look, great new excitement for the customers of the New York City Transit and the MTA. Before we get started with our program, I'd like to acknowledge two distinguished guests. One is Ronnie Hakem, the President of New York City Transit. And the second is Earl Phillips, the Secretary-Treasurer of the Transport Workers Union. I'm thrilled to stand here today with Governor Cuomo as we unveil the first of 75 new state-of-the-art buses joining the New York City Transit and MTA bus fleet this year. As part of the governor's mandate to enhance the customer experience, all of these buses will offer free Wi-Fi and USB ports so New Yorkers can stay connected as they always expect to during their commute. In the next 5 years, over 2,000 buses, these state-of-the-art new buses, will be added to the MTA fleet, replacing 40% of the entire MTA fleet, some $1.5 billion. The first buses will start hitting the streets today, with 7 buses going into service immediately. Another 13 buses will be in service by May 12th, and the remainder of the buses will be delivered at the rate of 4 to 5 per week, totaling 75 by the summer. The first set of 75 buses is going to roll out in Queens, serving the neighborhoods of Richmond Hill, South Jamaica, South Ozone Park, Springfield Gardens, Rosedale, and Far Rockaway, as well as JFK Airport and the Nassau County neighborhoods of Woodmere, Lawrence, and Inwood. Throughout 2017 and 18, we'll see new buses roll out across the other boroughs. I happen to think they look great. I think they're a long ways from the standard blue and white, which kind of got dull. These are exciting buses. I'm also happy to talk a little bit about the field test of MTA eTix, the mobile ticketing app that will be rolling out at the Long Island Railroad and Metro North later this year. The app is fast and convenient, and it will save loads of time for consumers who don't want to wait in line at ticket booths to purchase tickets to ride our train systems. Some people are already finding out just how convenient the new app is. On April 25th, we launched a field test of MTA eTix that's designed to work out any issues that the software might have, a beta test of that, so to speak, and to gauge consumer attitudes and reactions. It's got to be an app that is warm to them and they're willing to embrace. A beta version of the app has been in the hands of approximately 150 railroad customers who ride either the Long Island Railroad Port Washington branch or Metro North's Hudson line. During the past 3.5 weeks, these railroad customers have been using the app in real time, buying and displaying train tickets during the course of their commutes. Both conductors and participating customers have been monitoring the app's performance, reporting any problems they encounter, and passing that information on to the development team to ensure that the technology works as seamlessly as it should. I'm happy to announce that the test has been a success. 92% of participants have indicated they are either very satisfied or somewhat satisfied with the app, which are high. 90% found the purchase experience to be easy and very easy. 95% say they would be either somewhat or very likely to use the app after the pilot. The field test will end on May 21st, and monthly riders who have participated in the test will be able to continue to use the app until the end of the month. As a result of the successful field test, the MTA eTix app will start to roll out in June after test efforts are completed and project personnel have made any necessary software app updates. At that time, MTA eTix mobile ticketing will be available on the first 2 lines. Long Island Railroad's Port Washington branch serves 47,000 customers, and the Metro North Hudson line serves 39,000 customers on a daily basis. Then we'll continue the rollout on a broader basis. Also, as many of you know, we recently announced a request for proposal to create a new fare payment system for subways, buses, and the Staten Island Railway. That fare payment system will be interoperable after the one with the one that we're rolling out today. So you'll be able to use it no matter what application and what services you're riding. In the larger sense, I'm also very excited to be working with Governor Cuomo to fulfill his mandate to renew, enhance, and expand the region's vital transit system, the MTA service network, and while at the same time developing a better customer service environment for our customers. From where I sit, the fact that the governor has made improving the commute for the average New Yorker a top priority for his administration, that's a very big deal. One example of the strength of the governor's commitment is the fact that the introduction of a new fare payment system for subways, buses, and the Staten Island Railway has been fast-tracked to happen in 2 years instead of the originally planned 4. This administration is clearly dedicated to moving things along as quickly as possible to get these improvements in the hands of our customers. And to get a sense of the scope of that commitment, just take a look at the size and ambition of the capital plan. $27 billion over 5 years, including an historic $8.3 billion contribution from the state, the largest contribution in our history. So the next generation vehicles and new ticketing system we're celebrating today wouldn't have been possible without the governor's commitment and support, and they're just part of a much bigger plan to renew, enhance, and expand the entire system. And that's great news for everybody. I'd now like to have Mark Heavey, Director of Marketing for New York City Transit, come up and give a short demo of the eTix system.
Thank you, Tom. So the MTA eTix app is, as Tom mentioned, very simple to use, as it should be for the convenience of our customers. This is the icon that would appear on your device screen, and you would tap that to see a splash screen with the MTA eTix logo, and your home screen, where you buy tickets. You can see that recent trips that I have taken from Grand Central to Ansonia, from Penn Station to Amityville, are saved, and you can star them and save them as your favorites so that you can, with one click, repeat that trip, which a lot of our customers will do. Pardon me. So you can choose either Grand Central or Penn Station, whether you're riding Metro North or Long Island Railroad, and your destination station, which in this case was Grand Central to Ansonia. You choose what fare you'd like. I chose an off-peak one-way ticket. You have your preloaded credit card or debit card in your device. You tap the one you wish to use, and you've made a successful ticket purchase. That e-ticket is now in your ticket wallet in the app, ready to be used. You can purchase these as far in advance as you'd like. When you're ready to use the ticket, just before boarding the train, you go to your ticket wallet, you find that ticket from Grand Central to Ansonia, you click it, it's activated, and this is what the conductor sees when he comes down the aisle of the train and checks your screen. It's as simple as that.
You know, there have been many chairmen before me, but I will tell you, and they will tell you, the most difficult thing to do and the most important thing to do, a lot of responsibilities the MTA chairman has, is get a capital program. The capital program is very difficult. Without the leadership of somebody who can bring all the parties together, this is the largest program ever. It takes a lot of focus and support, and the governor provided that. Governor Andrew Cuomo.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon to everyone. First to Chairman Tom Prendergast, I want to applaud him on today. I teased Tom in private that he has the hard job and I have the easy job. But the MTA chairman is really one of the most difficult and challenging public service positions, I think, in the country. It's hard to move the bureaucracy. It's hard to bring change to the bureaucracy. It's hard to make people happy. And he has a lot of people every morning, every evening that he has to make happy. And he has really done an extraordinary job. Let's give him a round of applause, Chairman Tom Prendergast. And to Mark Heavey and Ronnie Hakem and the whole MTA team, you're doing a great job. Let's give them a round of applause, please. Mr. Phillips and the TWU, the union that represents the workers, has been a great partner to us, and we have a great relationship, and the progress that we're making, we wouldn't make without that partnership. So I thank you very much, and your members. Let me give you a couple of minutes, just a little context on today, and what the MTA is doing and the progress of the MTA. New York State is particular and is unique in many ways. I like to say New York is where great ambition meets great capacity. You look at the city and you look at the state. It didn't just happen, right? This did not happen as a function of evolution. This place was made, and it was made by very ambitious people with broad visions, courage of convictions, and tremendous drive. And they built the greatest state on the planet. But they built it. They made it happen. And the challenge for us then is now looking forward. What are we doing to make sure this place stays the best place on the planet to do business, to bring your family, to live, to work? They project that the New York City metropolitan area will grow by another 1.6 million people over the next several decades. Where do they go? How do they move? Where do they live? Where do they work? And how can you absorb more people into this region and move people even faster than you're moving people today? The answer is not going to be everybody moves to the suburbs and buys a car and drives into the city. That's not going to happen. The answer is not more people on the Long Island Expressway and more people on the Northern State Parkway and more people on the Sawmill and more people coming over the George Washington Bridge. That is not the answer. The answer is more people on mass transit, and a mass transit system that is growing and has the capacity to handle the additional people, and a mass transit system that is so proficient in customer service that people like taking mass transit. Not that they have to take mass transit because there's no alternative. They actually like it. When Chairman Prendergast talks about the customer experience is a pleasurable experience. That means the MTA has to grow, it has to get bigger, and it has to get better and more sophisticated. That means money and investment and resources in the MTA. That is what the chairman is referring to when he talks about the capital plan. Capital plan is how much are we going to invest in the MTA to build and buy more of a system. And we are investing $27 billion in the MTA. How much is $27 billion? It is more money than has ever been invested in the MTA in history. And it is the greatest single investment by the state of New York. I'm from Queens. It's very simple in Queens. Queens, they would say, put your money where your mouth is, right? You believe in mass transit? Fine. $27 billion, largest commitment from the state, because we want to see the MTA have the ability to do what they want to do. By the way, when the chairman was going through the new routes for the new buses, there was a predominance of the buses going to Queens. That is coincidental for you who believe in the conspiratorial model. It just so happens that I'm from Queens and the buses are going to Queens. Or maybe not, but that's my story and I'm sticking with it. So we're making the investment in the MTA, and we're proud of it. And that's where you see the acceleration of many projects that are critical. The Second Avenue subway is critical. East Side access is critical. New cars, new buses is critical. 2,000 new buses here over the next couple of years. These are critical investments to do what we need to do. What we're doing with the Long Island Railroad on the second and the third track, the new subway cars. If you want to expand the system and build the system for more capacity, then you're going to have to invest, and that's what we're going to have to do. Also, you have to change the system because the system has to now adapt to the new technology. People don't get on a bus and read a newspaper anymore. People get on a bus and they expect to have that digital connectivity that they need to lead their life. They're on the bus for 25 minutes. That can't be a wasted 25 minutes. They want to be able to plug in, get their Wi-Fi, have a USB port, do their work on their phone or their device or whatever the device of the future is. And that's what these buses now have. These buses, not only will you have that time on the bus, hopefully shorter with a more efficient system, you can use the time more, and the time will be more valuable because you won't be out of touch and you won't be out of connection. That's also what this e-ticket system is all about, which is people are no longer paying cash, taking a credit card, swiping a credit card. They tested an e-ticket application for the Long Island Railroad and the MTA. The test worked, 92% satisfied. That's great. There are some people you're never going to make happy in life, but 92% is a great result. So they're going forward with the e-tickets on the LIRR and Metro North, and going out for a proposal to do an electronic device in the subway system, where we don't now have Wi-Fi. So that is also very exciting. And then interoperability, so you can use the same device everywhere. That is now the technology that works when you go into a movie theater, when you go to a ballpark. It should also work when you get on a bus or the train or a subway. And that's exactly what they're doing. When you combine the MTA investment with the MTA technology, with the physical construction program we are doing, it is the largest investment in the New York City infrastructure transportation arena in modern political history. $27 billion for the MTA, and then we have a whole construction program. We're building a new LaGuardia airport, finally. We're accelerating and investing in a new Penn Station, rebuilding Kennedy Airport. All of these capital investments will then merge and work with the new MTA system. So you have a new physical system, a new operating system, and the two will actually merge. We're very excited about it. We are getting it done, and we're getting it done on an accelerated basis. And that augurs well for our efforts to not just keep this the greatest city and the greatest state on the planet, but maybe even leave it a little bit better than we found it. And that's the obligation and aspiration of every citizen, every parent, to leave your fellow citizens, to leave your children a home that is a little bit better, a little bit sweeter than you found it. And we're going to leave New York a little bit better than we found it. And we are on the road, pardon the pun, to doing that today. To the designers of this bus, I want to second the chairman's opinion. I am not a design expert, but I think it is a good-looking bus. I like the blue. I like the sense of motion and the graphics. It is sophisticated, yet not tedious. It is playful, but serious. It is a beautiful bus, and I love that blue. I have an old GTO, the same color blue. So it looks fast, that bus, Godspeed, and it really does represent the new MTA and an MTA on the move. And the credit for that goes to every person who's been dedicated to the MTA for so many years. So congratulations and thank you.